was not certain you would come.
You were the one who walked away. I never turn my back when my friend needs me.
The Evanurus seek the magic of the Blight.
Impossible. The Blight is safely sealed away forever.
Though I wish I could believe you, I have sensed the breaking of the wards.
I will investigate your claims. If they forget the danger of the Blight, I will endeavor to remind them.
What if, instead, you left the Evanurus and remained with me? Do you not wish for freedom from this struggle?
Be at peace, love. I will stop them.
As you must. The Blight is our mistake.
Did Mythal call Solus love in that memory?
That's what it sounded like.
So they were doing it.
The elven gods were free with their emotions. They felt things deeply. The way they express things, well, it feels romantic to us, but that wasn't really how it was. Back then, I mean.
Nah, they were doing it.
Oh, they were absolutely doing it.
Being with someone you're rebelling against? Doesn't sound like Solus.
He also met her in secret and talked about how they could run off together.
It sounded so tragic and romantic.
Oh, wait. Never mind. That does sound like him.
So the Dreadwolf goes to Mythal. They might be fighting, but they have history.
And he warns her about the other gods using the Blight. That's more important than his rebellion. It's like kingdoms coming together when an archdemon rises.
Mythal didn't think it was possible. She said the Blight was sealed away. There's an old legend about it. Davrin, the one with Andrul's armor. Not sure it matters.
We're deep in elven lore already. What's the legend say?
Right. Well, Andrul was the goddess of the hunt. She put on armor, magic armor, made us something called the Void, drove her mad.
I remember this one. The other gods were afraid Andrul would turn on them. She was doing all kinds of horrible things, causing plagues. It does sound like the Blight.
Well, it all ends with Mythal fighting Andrul. After, Mythal turned into a dragon.
She what? Why didn't you start with that?
Anyway, she took Andrul's armor away, then Andrul's madness left, and peace returned.
Intriguing. So it's possible Andrul stumbled onto the magic of the Blight.
And when Andrul went mad, Mythal took it from her and locked it away.
Until someone started using it again.
Okay, Solus warns Mythal about the other gods using the Blight. It's not just bad, it's something bad he feels responsible for. The Blight was our mistake.
How is the Blight their mistake? Did they find it? Did they make it? What does that mean?
Whatever it was, it convinced Mythal to take him seriously.
So Mythal goes off to investigate what Solus says. Then, what? It's too clean.
Seems plenty messy with them doing it.
But this isn't just a memory. It's something Solus wanted to hide. What's the crime? What did we see here that he feels guilty about?
I think I might know. When the Inquisitor was saving the world from the breach, she met Mythal.
What? Like in a dream?
It was complicated. She helped the Inquisition. There was a magic pond and a dragon. Nice! The point is, she also said the other elven gods betrayed her, killed her.
Okay, sorry, point of order. If they killed Mythal, how was she still around to help the Inquisition?
Elven god magic? She'd spent centuries gathering strength and sharing people's bodies, I think.
If it was a truly benign possession, that speaks to her character.
Solus tried to do the right thing by warning Mythal about the other gods using the Blight, but he got her killed.
Well, it's not just that she died.
What do you mean, Tosh?
It's... Ugh. There was stuff he wanted to tell her, but he waited too long, and then she was dead. He never got to make it right. That twists you up.
That's it. There's our crime.
Doesn't really tell us anything we can use, though.
We know more than we did. That's something.
Then I guess we keep our eyes open if we come across more of these memories.
You dare to try to cage us, jealous of our growing power!
You will pay the final price for this betrayal. We warned you not to use the Blight. For this, and for Mythal, I sentence you to sleep in exile ever after. Your own lives will form the veil that keeps the horror you unleashed at bay.
So he locked the gods away and created a veil between this world and the Fade. I mean, they were terrible, no question. But what he did, it didn't just stop them. It destroyed our culture, our world.
It wasn't just to stop them. It was to stop the Blight. We've seen how bad Elgar'nan and Gillenane are. Imagine all 7 corrupted gods running wild.
So he created the Veil just to keep the elven gods locked in their prison?
Yes, to keep them from accessing the Fade. But was the creation of the Veil around the world an accident?
You heard him yelling. That's not the sound of a ritual going right.
What do you think, Rook?
Davrin and I have fought the Blight for years. It's terrifying. Watching the gods poison his world, his people, I understand why Solus would do anything to stop it.
I know, Rook. I'm not denying that. I wish there'd been a better way. That's all.
So does he. This isn't a memory he's proud of.
I had another question, and I'm sorry, maybe this doesn't matter, but Solus trapped the blighted gods in an ancient elven building, right?
That's what it looks like. Maybe a palace? Fancier than what I've seen in Arlathan, at least.
And then, the Magisters were lured into the Fade. They broke in, which let the Blight escape, and turned the Golden City black.
Right, and the Black City hangs in the Fade, a little reminder of their mistakes. What's wrong, Lace?
It's just... the Chant of Light says that the Maker built for them the Golden City, the center of all creation. But if the Golden City was an ancient elven palace, then the Maker didn't build it. The elves did. The Chant of Light is Andraste's visions from the Maker, but it sounds like it's wrong.
You're asking if we just disproved the entire Andrastian faith.
Did we?
Lace, I don't think you'll ever fully know whether the Chant of Light is literally true or not. What matters is that in its better moments, the Chantry encourages people to be kind and help each other.
What do we tell the Chantry about this? Do we tell them about this?
People are already questioning because of Elgar'nan and Gillenane. It hasn't stopped them believing.
I guess people need that comfort, even if some parts of it aren't totally true.
The Dalish clans are struggling with the same thing. What do we keep? What do we lose?
The Elven Gods, the Maker. No matter who you light a candle to, you've got some hard questions to ask yourself right now.
Doctrine is not the truth. It is one of many paths to the truth.
I recognize the sentiment, though not the specific quote. Who said that?
My mother.
Ah.
Questions of faith aside, We have some very real gods that still need killing.
Looks like there are 3 more of these murals with the Dreadwolf's old memories. Wonder what else he's hiding.
You have so long observed the world. Why not consider joining it?
But I have no desire to live as humans. I have the Fade. Besides, this talk of taking on a solid form. I think you underestimate the danger. When you took the glowing stone to build your body, did the earth not shake?
Delirium gives us the strength we had when we were of the Fade. We are the best of physical and spirit. I need your wisdom, Solus. To withstand the louder voices who would go too far like Elganon. I need you.
This is madness. You must know that. I will always follow where you go.
What?
This is astounding. The ancient elves were spirits who voluntarily manifested a physical form.
I'd rather go back to talking about the Blight.
Hey, Lucanus. Could Spite turn into an elf?
No.
Sorry, but... what?
This puts all of elven history in a new light, not to mention what we think about spirits.
I mean, some magic works differently for elves. If we came from spirits, that'd explain it.
The knowledge that an entire people were formed from a mass manifestation could change our entire understanding of magic.
If we let it out, is that the right call? Do you want bigoted humans yelling about how elves are demons?
Davrin's got a point. World's not short on small-minded humans.
If the world learned about this, and it led to attacks against elves.
Elves have enough trouble as it is down in Ferelden.
We have to tell someone, though. Strife and Irulan, at least.
If I told Thea and Viago, they'd think I was sampling Viago's poison collection. No one would believe us.
Okay. We keep this to people we trust who have good reason to know. No shouting it from the rooftops.
Agreed. The Morn Watch has a great deal of experience keeping dangerous secrets.
So, beyond the world-shaking stuff, what else did we learn here? Solus himself was a spirit.
What kind do you think he was?
Well, his name is Elven for pride.
Oh, okay.
There's something else. Not about spirits, or not all about them at least. Solus didn't want to become a person with a physical body.
Right. He only agreed after Mythal begged him.
Then that's his regret. He wishes he'd never taken physical form.
Maybe, but not just that. Solus was scared. They built their bodies out of lyrium, and it made the ground shake.
You think the ground shaking was the Titans?
It makes sense, doesn't it? Something was hurting them, taking their blood.
So they struck back, like we'd swat a stinging bug.
The first memory we saw with Elganon seizing power, it happened at the end of a war.
A war between the Titans and the Elves.
And we just saw how it started.
It feels like we still don't have the full picture. But I think that's part of what Solus regrets. He didn't see the danger.
Except he did. He was worried, you said it yourself.
He did it for Mythal. Everything that followed, he could prevent it if he just told her no.
Then he's got a war on his conscience. Plus, whatever we find next.
Have you created what we need?
With this, the proper ritual will sunder every titan from its spirit. But you must know those severed dreams will certainly be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger. It is awful what we're doing.
And the only way to end this war.
Solus made the weapon that killed the Titans. No, not killed. He cut away their dreams and left them broken and mindless. He passed me in the halls of Skyhold for a year. He made polite conversation, and he knew. He knew what he did.
I don't know what to say, Lace. I can't even imagine. I'm so sorry.
I served in the Inquisition. I know terrible things happen in war. But to do something like this...
The Titans were the size of mountains. I doubt the elves were winning their fight. He considered this the cost of saving his people.
Fear and guilt make people do stupid things.
To do such a thing. No wonder regret eats away at Solus.
No, it's worse than that. That isn't what Solus regrets. Those severed dreams will be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger.
Mierda.
You can't. That's not possible.
When a warden hears the calling, it's like a song in their mind. Sound familiar to you, Lace?
The Song of Lyrium. Of the Titans.
We think of the Blight as this monstrous force with no mercy, no compassion. Evil incarnate. Instead, it's a caged animal. Mistreated and imprisoned for centuries. Until all it knows is fear.
If the Blight is the Titan's dreams, can we, I don't know, heal it? Bring it back from all that anger?
I'm afraid I have no idea. In theory, it would be possible to restore dreams to the Titans.
You can't set it free before it's healed. You'd have blighted Titans laying waste to the entire world.
The Titans are a problem for later. We have Elgernon and Gillanane to deal with now.
And then I want Solus to look me in the eye and answer for what he did.
Each of these memories has been a deeper regret, and almost all of them involve Mythal.
Only one mural left to uncover by my count. If we find it, we'll see what's worse than this.
Okay, that's enough. Quiet now. Fine. Who wants a treat?
I didn't know Manfred could eat.
Not sure if he knows either. But it worked.
Let's see what he does with it.
Yeah, if I had a treat. That was just a little white lie to quell the riot.
Are you sure it's little to them? Now you've done it. Manfred won't be denied.
Come on, guys, give me a break. Rook?
What are we all saying?
Well, it isn't be quiet.
Sorry. It's all I've got.
Wait, you can't just leave me with the...
Good luck with that.
Rook, interested in visiting the Memorial Gardens?
What are you up to?
I must tend to some rites in the necropolis. I'd like to show you its more peaceful side.
Everything's calm. Looks like the candles worked.
I see some of my... Thank you again for coming. My duties include tending to these rites of remembrance. Excellent. Manfred found his way down. Very good, Manfred.
He sounds excited.
I thought we'd start the rites here. A tableau of the dead, commissioned 173 years ago. These lives were flickers against the ages, precious, fragile, and finite. Now they serve as a warning. Don't linger overlong in the gloom. Live with grace and fervor while you may.
No one's going to seize the day for you.
Just so. That one's livelier. Here. Who were you when you breathed above?
This body was a tailor's, a mother's. She laughed and taught and wove the robes kings wore when they were crowned.
Someone must realign her thoracic vertebrae. I hope the novices are inspecting the displays.
Seems pointless. No one here's expecting company. Are they?
Let's continue.
So, what now?
We light candles in remembrance of the dead. Would you care to light the candle, Rook? Look at this. The last tomb of the Tannhausens. A very influential family in the Storm Age.
We broke the bones of dragons.
A posthumous motto. Their last heir met his match against a Highland Ravager.
Death by dragon. Surprised there was enough to bury.
Do you know, I never expected that the door we found back in the Vault of the Beloved would lead here.
So, the necropolis actually shuffles its rooms around?
From time to time. Very unlikely to happen while we're inside a chamber. Could you light the next candle? Aha! One of my favorite flowers! A variegated weeping widower.
You know your plants?
Alchemy is my hobby. It's a break from teaching spirit calling and theoretical applied metaphysics.
Right. Just on the side.
This way, Rook.
You're right about the gardens being peaceful.
The necropolis has its dangers, but these places are a refuge for the dead.
How many people are buried here anyway?
Excellent question. We rarely should take a new census. You'll need to light these candles as well. Open your hearts to the final day, companion of all the ages. You remarked earlier that keeping this place in order seems pointless, but there's meaning in how we tend the necropolis.
Just seems like a lot of ceremony.
The ceremony can be the point. The spirits gather. Only a few more candles. Follow me. Ah, look here.
Hi. Should I say hi?
It's curious about you. We're also enjoying the gardens, but we've one last ritual ahead. On your way, my friend.
Spirits really are your specialty.
I've always had a rapport with them. Even as a child, they were my companions.
After you started training here?
After I was orphaned.
Oh.
A collapsed building, swift deaths. After the funeral, the Watchers took me in.
Belated condolences, if that's worth anything.
Always. We move on, as we must, but those long nights linger about the shadows.
How did you deal with it?
I didn't. When I first arrived here, I was terrified.
And you still joined the Watchers?
They're what saved me. Come, the next set of graves lies ahead. Please, light the next candles if you would. There's much to recommend about the rhythm of a ceremony. It eases our worst hours. As a boy, the Watcher's rituals were exactly what I needed to steady my days with purpose.
And some death magic?
Well, every young mage needs a speciality. All this pageantry, this magnificent gloom and its rites, I ask you, Rook, what is it for?
It's gotta be the living, right?
Yes, exactly, exactly. This place is an abundance of history, of magic, of memories. The Watchers preserve it so the living may draw comfort from those who've gone before. We must get to the candle, please, Manfred.
You told Harding that Manfred used to be a wisp until you gave him a body.
Yes, he's taken so well to it. Haven't you, Manfred? Here are the last candles you'll need to light. Once you're ready, we'll need to ring the bell. Let the rites be acknowledged. Our bonds seen and sealed. We honor the listening spirits.
Hail from the abyss.
We witness, good Watcher, faith kept in all our paths.
What was...
The necropolis hosts many spirits. We thank these guardians for their protection and friendship. We'll need to ring the bell once more to close out the departing ceremony.
So you were really afraid of this place as a child?
It wasn't the necropolis itself, but what was draped around it. Have you ever been frightened by the thought of dying, Rook?
Hasn't everyone from time to time?
When I was younger, it happened more often than that. That's when I discovered I possess a great terror of dying. goes beyond dread. Can't be reasoned with or soothed over. It comes without warning. In the dead of night, in sunlit streets, a raw, strangling fear struck somewhere deep past the heart.
That's an issue for a necromancer.
Oddly, I discovered I wasn't alone. I debated this fear with friends. I argued with teachers. Yet, it lingered. Manfred's right. That's maudlin enough. There are struggles, but a watcher should always find peace amongst the graves. And what sort of host would I be if we didn't end with some light refreshment?
Well, if Manfred's excited, how can I refuse? Cheers, Manfred.
Rook, welcome to the Hosberg wetlands. I'd say make yourself comfortable.
I could sense blight before we were through the alluvion. What's happening?
That's the question, isn't it? Oh, one of them.
The blight's always a problem in the Anderfells. It's not strange to find a corrupted patch of forest or swamp.
What is strange is the sudden surge of blight through the Hosberg wetlands. Much like the village you found, the blight here struck too quickly, and in strange forms.
It's choked the whole area, and the local village, Lavendel, was caught in it. But they're survivors. We can be grateful for that.
How many people are here? We need to help them.
Of course. FK and I are doing what we can.
So you keep your eye on the big picture for now.
As far as we can tell, the gods you're chasing weren't here directly.
If the blight's really changed, then the changes are widespread. As for how much?
I can almost sense something in there. Another sound under the blight's usual song.
Sensing the Blight is one thing. What you're saying is concerning.
When we met, you tried to block the sound out. Now you hear too much.
If it helps, that's what we're here for.
Should I be worried?
About me? No. About the Blight? Yes. But you already are.
We heard rumors of the surge here and volunteered to investigate. The first warden expects a report. Soon.
If we want proof the Blight's changed, then this place is where to find it.
But the way the Blight left the village, we've had our hands full just keeping it back and helping the sick.
You need more to study.
Yes. The odd growths the Blight has formed, like boils, they surround Lavendel. I need more samples.
So you two are studying the Blight?
We already had a reputation for following the weird stuff.
And it's only gotten weirder.
To help, we need to know what we're dealing with.
It's a good thing another warden showed up.
Even if it's you.
You collapse a building to seal off Darkspawn one time.
And get us all in trouble.
Worth it. You know we like you, so be careful out there.
I will. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Yeah? Good day.
All right, let's find those boil samples. Looks like there's
You've been to the farmlands? There's a family. Voss. I'm close with him, with Ursa. They spoke of the Blight. The Blight. Before all of this happened. They knew. But if they knew, why aren't they here?
If I find anything, I'll let you know. Lavendel Village. Whatever happened here looks like Demeter's Crossing.
And yet, life remains.
Often a place needs someone in its corner. This one needs more than a few.
Are you here to help Lavendel? I'm Bastion. There's more out there than Blight. You must be careful.
Of what?
I heard something from up at Gaspin Manor while I was escaping here. The place has been abandoned for years. They say the Lord had some cursed treasure. One day he just disappeared. Could the Blight awaken a curse? If it draws evil here, the treasure's up there somewhere. It should have been destroyed.
I wouldn't be surprised if damage from the Blight stirred something up.
Nor would I. Whether a curse or some other magical disturbance, it bears investigation.
It came through so... I don't know what I should have grabbed.
You did what you could.
That's our Blight boil. Got a sample. Guessing they'll need more than one.
Multiple samples improve the accuracy of any study. Unpleasant though the gathering process may be.
Company, get ready.
Huh?
Got through that.
Got the sample.
Lovely.
Everyone ready? Everyone all right?
So, Rook, this was your life before us?
Not quite. this where it's needed. Got it.
First at Demeter's Crossing, now here. And the gods are just getting started.
You call Manfred Fred?
Sure. He walked into my office, I said, Fred. Can I call you Fred? He nodded. Seemed happy about it. If he doesn't like it...
Oh, Manfred doesn't mind. He quite likes you. Does the diminutive imply a certain level of comfort with the necromantic arts?
It shows a certain level of comfort with your friend. The rest of it, well, that depends.
On what?
On what the mage using it is up to. Like a rope. Under fire! Watch it! Here we go!
They attack from a distance!
Check out the ballista. Could be useful.
All connected, right? If it's mad, we attack the boils.
We need to stop it. It's down.
Made it through that one.
And another sample.
That must be enough for an analysis.
Yeah. Let's get back to Evka and Antoine. Signs of a family that disappeared.
You bet.
They knew the Blight was coming. But how? And what went wrong after?
Something toyed with the people here.
This was farmland.
My word, you're right.
A well. Well. An echo? 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 This echo made promises, and then... Do you think it took them all? All. Whatever this echo was in the well, I think it possessed them. The more people go near it, the more it gets in their minds.
Promises them a way out, then keeps them in the same place. Like a game.
That journal mentioned clearing boards from the well. It was sealed away once.
Whatever's down there, whatever you did to those people, I won't let you do it again. We're sealing the well. Sealing. It's done. No more echo. For now.
I've a question for you about Mid-Rapids.
Do you?
I've heard its mage circles are the strongest in Tevinter.
So they claim.
One does hear things, boasts about particular methods and so on.
Funny. We hear the same about Navarra.
Tory barrier crystals. Whoever came this way didn't want to be followed.
Recently placed, too.
What are they doing in the Hosberg wetlands? What's that sound?
Now I'm guessing it's not the Blight.
Run! Quickly!
Got it.
this is the cursed manor.
Spared no expense on the atmosphere.
Lord Gaspin's treasure belongs to the Venatori.
There! Strike now!
We've got company. Got us at range.
Do they want Lord Gaspin's treasure? Look at this place. Is it really still here? What was that?
The Venatori weren't the only ones here.
The manor is supposed to be cursed.
What lies below?
What lies? Anyone else suddenly thinking about?
A cellar. The longer we're here, the more this being craves our attention.
Sure thing.
The cellar. Stay on guard. Research notes. This man wanted Lord Gaspin's treasure to impress Veilguard.
He's chasing status. Wants a better rank among the Venatori.
My fixation! Consuming obsession!
So a bad deal for them.
Let's look around. This writing is old. If it was Lord Gaspin, whatever he thought was back here, it wasn't enough. He found a demon, or became the one we met. If the demon was the curse, at least we've kept it away from Lavendel. Once we're done, we can let Bastion know.
You got it.
need a wisp.
this where it's needed.
Over there.
It's not enough you disturb my sleep. Now you interrupt my journey in the waking world.
That sounds like the trap demon in the cupboard.
They grieved the Egyptian. I'll flay you alive before you find the treasure I prepared.
That goes with you. Well, look at that.
Look behind you!
Got it covered.
That demon knew us. It sounded exactly like the one trapped behind that sealed door in the necropolis.
So it did.
A multi-localized sending. The malign spirit trapped in the vault can project facets of its reality into the outer world.
Necromancy's your calling.
Like most Navaran mages. I hope it's not a concern.
We'll find out.
Your own practice. Your work must find you in dangerous corners. Your experience with blood.
Attack from afar!
Now, where were we? Your own practice. Your work must find you in dangerous corners. Your experience with blood magic.
You want to know if I've tried it myself?
Well, in so many words.
Never have, never would.
company.
The wetlands are unsettling, but I guess that's warden life. Spending time in creepy places.
So what now? Do we listen for a twig snap nearby? That's how it works outside the city, right? You know, Emmerich, when a necromancer moves in, I thought we might get undead bursting through the floor. But you keep things quiet, and Fred's a good neighbor.
You'll have to forgive my own worries. All I've read of Tevinter.
I can respect the wariness.
Tree. The blight feels strange around it. There's a pull to it.
Well, that's ominous.
Rook! Always good to see people return. Means they're still alive.
We went up to Gaspin Manor.
You did? And the curse? Was it... Did the Blight wake it?
Less the Blight, more like some Venatori. There was a demon haunting the manor. We stopped it.
Huh. Well, we all knew something wasn't right. And thank you. There's one less evil to worry about.
Are you all right?
The Voss family? Did you find anything?
There was something in the well. It got to them.
But we aren't supposed to listen. The stories. But it was sealed.
And so it is again.
When it's safe to go back, I'll bury it even deeper for Ursa. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah?
Antoine? Antoine!
Yes? Yes, the blight samples. They're like nothing we've seen, or anything in the Warden records. And Rook? I believed you, but to hear it? I almost hear voices in it. The gods calling the blight.
We knew things were bad. But if the Blight's being called, the situation's more unpredictable than we thought. We need to...
I give you two reign, and this is where it leads. Chasing Rook's lies.
First Warden,
you were told to stay away. Or does your allegiance to us no longer matter?
Of course it does. Fighting the Blight matters. That's why I'm here.
You're here for your ego, not for us.
Rook knew something was wrong.
I can hear it in the samples. The gods. He's telling the truth. The blight has changed, and that changes everything.
It changes nothing. Your sensitivity to blight is useful, Warden Antoine. But you've had more than one snake in your ear.
I took the same vows as you. We're on the same side.
You're on thin ice. You tampered with a ritual that unleashed blight. You did not know what you were doing then, and you don't now.
If gods control the Blight, we need to change how we approach it.
Archdemons control blight, and we'd sense if one had risen. We'd make the sacrifices needed to fight it.
But we...
The blight has increased. Now is not the time to lose focus. Wardens Evka and Antoine, are you sworn to combat the blight?
Yes, but...
Then report back to Weishaupt and do so.
That went poorly, even for a talk with him.
I'm a warden. I know what I'm doing. Why won't he listen?
You're a good warden. And don't catch yourself thinking otherwise.
Maybe. But I need the Order's help.
There's you, Davrin, me, and Antoine. We make it work with the four of us. You and Davrin work with your new friends. Antoine and I will track Darkspawn and the Blight.
In so-called peace, vigilance. If we learn the gods' plans, you will too.
The elven god of monsters had been hard at work. She'd taken the Darkspawn and made them so much worse. Now, she and Elganon had their glorious new army. The risen gods were ready. And they had just the target.
We should take a break. Head back to the lighthouse for a bit.
He finally agrees to meet for a report, then he all but calls you a liar.
I think you were included in that.
Thanks.
Rook, just got word. First Warden's calling everyone back to Weishaupt. Everyone except us, seems like. Guess the First Warden holds a grudge.
Calling Wardens back from all over Thedas is a big step. Did he give any reason why?
Not exactly, but I've heard rumors of a massive Darkspawn horde on the move. Even hearing there's an Archdemon with them.
The other archdemons are dead. Only Razikael and Lucican live. So which one is it?
No one has a good look yet. Makes it hard to tell. Rook, if the gods have an archdemon, Warden lore says archdemons only show up during a blight. Doesn't say anything about elven gods. Seems like the rules have changed, and we're going in blind. We need to know what we're up against.
I'll talk to Solus. See if he knows anything about any of this. Make sure the others are ready to move.
Hey, glad you stopped by. I was gonna grab drinks with the Lords of Fortune at the Hilt. Come along if you want. Get to know the Lords.
Sounds good. Any luck tracking down your mystery friend?
Orzammar has requested I stop harassing their citizens with my talk of dwarven magic.
Damn. That's a disappointment.
Well, I'm not gonna find my answers in Orzammar. My contacts had no idea what I was talking about.
So, what now?
I was thinking, the voice said look to those closest to the stone. What if she never meant Orzammar?
Huh?
There is another great Tig, the original capital of the dwarves, Kalsharak. It was lost during the First Blight, and its people survived in isolation for hundreds of years. They re-emerged, some 20 years ago?
And you think they're closer to the stone?
Orzammar can't help. What have I got to lose?
I'm curious about Kalsharak's isolation.
The dwarves took heavy losses during the First Blight. To stop the Darkspawn from overrunning them, they closed off passages in the deep roads. Those that could retreated to Orzammar. Kalsharak was lost. They abandoned the city and its people, sealed them away with the Darkspawn.
There must have been another way. What they did was monstrous.
Can you imagine being trapped, knowing death was coming?
But they didn't die. The rumors.
That the dwarves of Kalsharak had to change to survive? No one's really sure what that means exactly.
When we find them, you can ask. Are you sure Orzammar isn't hiding something?
Pressing them for information would be tricky. I could anger someone important. If Kalsharak doesn't turn out, I can go back to poking at Orzammar. But not before then.
How do we get in touch with these Kalsharak dwarves?
Already working on it. You don't spend 10 years in the Inquisition without making contacts. I should have a meeting set up by the time we're ready to leave.
You seem at home here. Or is it a front? You know something I don't? So much for a straight answer.
Nev, you don't strike me as an animal person. Besides cats, maybe.
Oh, I'm not. Back home, you find a creature bigger than a cat, and it's probably half demonic. Damned if a third of the cats aren't either.
That's nothing like you, is it, Assad? You might be fluff all the way through. It was a compliment.
Of all the nonsense we've run into, you're what's strange.
Assad? Really?
There's been a god or two I didn't expect. But bad mages trying to make the world worse, that's not new. I had an uncle who went on about wardens and griffins. Loved the feathered things. They were always the heroes. If we're getting bedtime stories turned real, having griffins in the world again, it's not the one I'd have bet on.
Were you close with your uncle?
I didn't see him much, but yeah, we were. There aren't a lot of mages in my family, and in a city like Minrathous, it always matters. I learned quick who wanted to use me to step up the social ladder. My uncle wasn't one of them. He'd have talked your ear right off, Hassan.
In the stories, I assume wardens were heroes too?
Some of them.
And in real life?
Some of them. Sing your praises and you still want something? I'll find you a treat if you don't tell Davrin. Have we got a deal?
Hey, Hassan. Between you and me, I think I like her. A lot. Yeah.
Listen up. If Davrin finds crumbs, Rook takes the fall.
Falling. On it.
Strength earns mastery.
With all my regards. Oh, but I don't want them to think me homesick.
Hi, Emmerich.
Rook, hello. Just composing a few letters. The other Watchers have been most interested in our adventures.
So, I've heard people call necromancers mortalitasi. What's the difference between them and the Mornwatch?
Oh, all Navaran necromancers are mortalitasi. The Watchers are a special order within them.
Very fancy.
We've certain privileges and attendant responsibilities.
What's the Mornwatch do?
Our first duty is safekeeping the Grand Necropolis and preparing the funerary dead. Another is stopping misuse of dark magic and necromancy.
Must keep you busy.
Not often, but on occasion.
What's the Grand Necropolis like?
Its majesty has stilled the tongues of kings and queens. It's a haven for spirits and the dead, a vast well of history, the duty and shelter of every Watcher. We who serve it are pledged to an eternal vigil.
What do Watchers, watch for?
There are stranger and more dangerous things than spirits in the Fade, Rook. The Watchers stand against them when their shadows rise.
Anything lately?
A few portents I cannot put down solely to the chaos of the elven gods. But nothing definitive. Perhaps only shivers in the void.
I couldn't help overhearing the word homesick.
Oh, I'm fine. Completely absorbed in our venture. But if I were home, I'd be preparing for new students or requests to speak to the dead.
You didn't stop teaching just to be with us, did you?
I'm long overdue for a sabbatical. Besides, Do you know how many students the faculty wanted in my class next season? 10! How's one meant to tailor separate lessons for 10 pupils at a time? Honestly.
Can people just ask you to show up for some corpse whispering?
Oh, nothing official. There are very few of us, but we help here and there. Questioning a victim of murder, clearing up disputed wills, and sometimes fetching back last words from a loved one.
You can get anything out of the dead and they just let you leave Navarra.
My gift has limitations. The dead only know what they did in life. What was clear under the sun is sometimes blurred when I revive them.
Makes sense.
Honestly, some conversations aren't worth the trouble. Death encourages obstinacy.
Good to chat. I'll let you get back to your letter.
Before you go, I wanted to thank you for your company in the Memorial Gardens. There's another ceremony I have to perform there. If you'd like to visit again. Not yet, but soon.
Sounds good. Sometimes I miss home too.
Rook, I'm not... well, perhaps a little.
You'll cheer up once we look at some graves, I bet.
The ceremony should be most centering. I'll let you know when it's time.
How fares your battle?
The gods are moving against Weishaupt and the Grey Wardens. We've heard rumors the Darkspawn are being led by an archdemon.
And you have questions?
I need to know how archdemons relate to the gods. Are they just like the Blighted Dragons, or are they something else? I also need to know how to deal with the gods if they show up at Weishaupt.
I propose a bargain. I will answer your question if you answer mine.
What?
How are the Grey Wardens? Do they understand the truth of the danger yet?
We've been through this already. You agreed to help me.
What did you think my help would look like, Rook? I need to know that you are prepared.
I've gotten a few of them to come around.
You're a Grey Warden yourself. Surely you have friends within the Order you might call upon.
I do. And I have. We've recruited another Warden named Davrin.
But the Grey Wardens as a whole still do not trust you yet, as I feared.
We're making progress.
When I asked why you should be trusted to lead the fight, you said that nobody else was doing it. That sufficed for me. But you will need more to convince the Grey Wardens. They see themselves as destined to lead this battle. You cannot defeat Elganan and Gillenane without the Wardens. What will you do to bring them to your side?
I don't have to convince all of them. I just have to convince the first Warden.
Or remove him.
Enjoyable as that is to imagine, I doubt the rest of the Wardens would approve.
Did you know the Evanurus once numbered many more than those whose names survive in the Elven Pantheon? One warlord was particularly cruel. I sought to free his slaves, but so fearsome was his reputation that none would join me.
What did you do?
I made people laugh at him.
How did that help?
For 12 years. Every sound near him, from whispered pleas to shouted oaths to crackling fire, all became mocking laughter. His mind broke under the ridicule, and when he fell, his slaves rose up and joined me.
I doubt laughter is going to work on the First Warden.
If not that, then what?
All I can really do is keep trying to get through to them.
Have you ever ridden home in a wagon and felt the streets go from paved to dirt beneath the wheels? The horse is slow, and everything grows quiet as you're near home. What do you call that feeling?
I don't really have a word for it.
No, you do not. Elganon destroyed that emotion. He burned it from the mind of every living being. There were spirits of that feeling, just as there are spirits of joy, or fear, or despair. I begged them to fight.
What happened to them?
They waited too long. Without the emotion in this world to focus on, they faded until nothing remained. When you grow quiet, it is a part of your soul reaching for a feeling and finding emptiness. Because I failed.
I understand. I'm not going to fail.
How? What will you do?
Whatever it takes.
Easily said. But it will have to be enough for now. You have answered my question, and I owe you an answer in return.
Yes. The old gods of Tevinter, the archdemons.
There never were Tevinter gods. The archdemons, as you call them, were always merely the weapons of the Evanuris.
All right. Let's hope we can find the gods before they find their weapons.
Unfortunately, the Dragon Thrall's life force is bound to the Evanuris as both power and protection. You will not be able to kill or likely even harm one of the Evanuris until their Dragon Thrall is slain.
What can you tell me about the archdemons themselves?
Each is different, shaped by the whims and ego of its master. Elganon is the Lord of Tyranny. He would have ruled alone had Mythor not forced him to share power. Those who are strong, he molds into dictators themselves, with visions of godhood. Those who are weak, he crushes. His archdemon reflects him. It is huge, to feed his ego, the epitome of dragonkind, bent to his will.
Elganon sounds legitimately terrible.
He is cruelty and arrogance personified. All of the Evanuris were flawed, but he made all of them worse. By contrast, Gillenane was a servant of Andrul, whose skill at making monsters earned her promotion to the Evanuris. She is brilliant, ambitious, and unconstrained by anything you would understand as morality. In a kinder world, you would never need to see what she has done to her archdemon. In this world, I only hope you kill it quickly. In any event, the Evanuris will not be vulnerable until their archdemons are dead.
The old stories of the Tevinter gods have them whispering in the dreams of ancient magisters. How did they do that if they were just tools of the elven gods?
The archdemons were once high dragons. The Evanuris bound them as a source of power. When I imprisoned the gods, their dragons remained free. That was my mistake.
How so?
I never bound a dragon to myself, for I believed that to enslave another creature was immoral. As such, I did not understand the power that connection gave. I thought the prison I had made was perfect. But their dragons were the conduit through which they spoke to dreaming minds.
Any other surprises we should know about?
Even with their dragons dead, the Evanuris are powerful and well protected. You will need to use my dagger, the one you recovered. It can pierce their enchantments and strike them down.
All right. Kill the archdemons, then use the dagger to take down the gods.
Even a single opportunity to strike the Evanuris down will be rare, fleeting, and costly. You will not have another chance to catch them unawares. When you strike, you must be fully prepared.